What is up, my ninjas? This is Strident here with another toy review slash video, just rant. Do you remember back in the day when you got figures, or your parents got you a figure, and you were just happy with it because it was the character that you wanted? Well, this Thor represents that. I got this Thor somewhere early in the beginning of, it was like in the early 90s or something like that, mid 90s. And I was so happy with it because it was a big buff Thor. He had, you know, his long locks and all that, and he kind of looked the part. He was huge compared to my other characters, who at the time, my other figures were mostly Marvel Legends and the original Toy Biz, Marvel superhero stuff. So yeah, this figure, he took the place, and he was Thor for years and years and years. This Fabio looking figure, At the time I was so geeked, but then as I got older, I'm like, oh my god. Yeah, my love for the figure started to become hate. I was like, this motherfucker, you just don't look right. Something is really wrong. Too big, I don't know. And then, I just thought to myself, at least he has the details and the basic requirements of being Thor. He's huge, the hammer works, it's the right size, it looked right. He had the cloth cape. He actually had real hair. It looks cool. I mean, look at it. It's shiny, like anime style and whatnot. But I always wanted a Marvel Legends style Thor. And then I saw this and I was like, okay, this will do. And I ended up getting this, I want to say last week. I was impressed with the figure just from the pictures, but I wanted to see if the figure was as cool, in hand. And he's a pretty cool figure. I mean, there's some simple issues, very small issues with him. The articulation is one of them. I mean, not what he can do, but what he can't do and how you achieve the articulation or the poses with the articulation that you're given. The sculpt is amazing. Paint job is amazing. It kicks the shit out of most of the other stuff that is supposedly mass produced, like mass market. And it's strange though, because a lot of figures these days, they aren't available to the mass market the way that they used to be. They're not in Toys R Us's, they're online, or they're specifically in comic book retailers. So it's strange that since that's the way most figures are and that's the standard, that more figures aren't painted as well as this one is. Now, on the subject of paint, when it comes to his joints, it kind of sucks because the joints and the articulation allows parts to rub up against other parts, and it just rubs the paint right the hell off. And that's frustrating, I'll give them their props though, because it's a $20 figure, and this sculpt looks like he would be a $50 figure. And this is why I complained a little bit when I was getting into the SH Figuarts figures, but I think I'm a little hooked because of the characters that they provide. But as you can see, it's all this rub away, constant rub away. Everywhere that a piece of the figure meets another piece, the paint is the victim and just gets rubbed away, which I wish wasn't the case. And he has some really tight joints, which is cool because Thor is a strong character, but I wanted him to be more I don't know, easily posable, and I just don't like the whole peg and then the swivel for his knee, and the same for his legs. Here's a size comparison to my original Thor. I made fun of him, but that Thor held it down for a long time. Here's Thor in comparison to Mezco's Hellboy, Hasbro's Iron Man 2, DC Universe Classics Superman, Soda Street Fighter Ryu, and the McFarlane CQB. You can see he's big. I mean, look at him compared to Iron Man. He's big. Here he is with Ultimate Cap and Ultimate Iron Man, and I think it's perfect because that's my squad right there. This is the team I actually use in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is not a serious fighter, but just to have fun, I like these. And my son loves the Avengers, so I do it so he can see them. But they look cool together. And here's that whole team. The majority of these are my sons. I just threw in some, little things, little characters of mine like Spidey, Cap, and Thor. But as you can see, he looks perfect with those other characters. I mean, if you didn't know any better, you would think it was a Marvel Legends figure, like the original Marvel Legends figures. You know, I'm not too impressed with the new stuff that I've seen because the paint jobs look kind of like a generic children's toy, you know? And by children's toy, I mean they simplify so much that the figure is just bright and, like, you know, punched out, you know, whereas a lot of the designs in modern comics themselves, the colors are muted, especially on some of the more iconic characters, especially in Marvel comics. You know, Cap's colors are a little darker. I love this figure because it's not like that, especially with the Cap figure. But I don't know, I might get that Marvel Legends one just because it is more, the articulation will probably be better done, and like he'll be able to stand up to more. I mean, because honestly, like I said, my son and I are super hardcore dorks about this stuff. We play with our figures, and you know, he might be, being that he is Thor, he might end up going through some shit. So here he is with the Avengers, with my Ultimate Iron Man in there, and like I said, he's awesome. What I can't wait to do is get a 6-inch Spider-Man from the new movie and put him on this team, and then you have like a cool Ultimate like team. So anyway, that is my review for Ultimate Thor, and I think he's an awesome figure with some little things. But next week I'm going to, or actually next, I'm going to review another Marvel Select figure that absolutely blew me the fuck away, and I think you guys will be pretty amazed with the figure as well. So stay tuned. All right, guys, peace.